30 videos in 30 days, day 20. Can you believe it? We are on the final leg of this journey, the final countdown of the final 10 questions. And I just want to take a second to say thank you to everyone who participated, to everyone who sent questions, to everyone who commented and liked and shared and engaged in conversation around these videos. It has been really, really fun, and I literally could not have done it without you, so thank you. Today's question comes from Kevin. Kevin writes, how do you relax when the questions are being answered and new doors are opening for you? Things are moving in a new and positive direction for me, and prayers are being answered before I can even finish the prayer, but I don't want to become overwhelmed with all that is coming to me. I love this question, Kevin. Thank you for asking it. I understand the idea that, you know, sometimes it feels like as we move more into our truth and align with our purpose and our true self, that it's like a waterfall or like a cascade of stuff just coming through it. And it's like, don't block the blessings, but you're like, but God, there's so many of them. And I just start to feel overwhelmed. I think the first thing is to just acknowledge when you're overwhelmed and take a beat and take a breath. And just go back into the observer mode and become aware of what's in your environment and become curious about what that means. What I have experienced and what I know to be true over the years of my journey and watching this path unfold magically and miraculously before me is that not everything requires our attention in the way that perhaps we think that it does. What I mean by that is sometimes a path is very short. Sometimes something comes to us and it sparks some insight, or it sparks some excitement, or it sparks some interest, and we hurry down that path and we follow it and follow it and follow it, and then it comes to an abrupt end, and we oftentimes think, well, did I do something wrong? Did I mess it up? Did I make the wrong move? And oftentimes I think things are not necessarily going to go the distance in terms of being resolved the way that the mind would think. Sometimes it's just about moving in a direction so that we can really get the sense of, is this for us or not? Or oftentimes the ending of something is really bringing us to the beginning of the real deal. So I think the first thing that we can do is remember that curiosity is a superpower. It's sort of like a buffet, right? I've been to Vegas before, and one of the things that astounds me about Vegas is just the sheer indulgence of it all. And going to some of these buffets that just seem to go on for miles, and you think, how on earth could I eat all of that? Well, I think the truth is that we don't always have to follow through with every single insight or impulse that comes up. We can be curious about it, right? Start to look into it, start to ask more questions about it, start to meditate on it and see where it goes. I know in my past, oftentimes if I saw something that inspired me or if I saw something that excited me, I would make this very rash decision, sort of driven by the ego, saying, okay, well, this is the answer. This is the thing that's going to be my next gig. This is the thing that's going to be my next project. This is the thing that's going to be my next job or whatever. And I would make all of these assumptions and get all of this momentum and focus on it. And then I would move and move and move and then be like, oh, well, I don't really want to do this. So I think being curious about something before we've committed to it and letting it show us what it is key. So rather than bringing a doing mentality to it, try perhaps bringing a being mentality to it. What I mean by that is say, okay, I'm going to be curious about this insight or this idea. I'm going to be curious about what happens when I start to take action, when I start to move forward, when I start to develop some stuff around this and see what happens. I don't think it's all necessarily stuff that has to be acted on right now. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, I've had this idea in my mind and I have known that I'm going to write a book for many, many years. And I cannot tell you how many false starts I have of books on my hard drive of my computer that went nowhere. It doesn't necessarily mean that the book is never going to happen. It just means that the book is not supposed to happen right now. So sometimes I think that we get insight and an impulse about something before it's really time for it to manifest in reality. I think here's the key. Continue to show up and focus on the things that feel the most interesting right now. Be like, you know, imagine that it's a buffet. And if you have all of the things laid out before you, say, well, I definitely want some of that. I might want a little bit of that. I've never tried that before, so I just want to taste. And then we sit with it, we consume it, we eat it, and then we say, okay, definitely want more of that. Not into that, but I love that and I want some more. So become curious about what it is that's in front of you. And the key is what sticks around. If you are bringing your best and you are bringing your clarity and your integrity and your willingness to be shown what this means for you, and you show up in response to whatever is calling you forward, and also are willing to move on from something when it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, or you say, well, I'm just going to put a lid on that pot and set it to the side for now, I believe that our experience really shows us more than us having to decide. So become curious about the options that are in front of you, begin to explore the ones that seem immediately the most interesting, and pay attention to the ones that stick around. Pay attention to the ones that feed you in return. Pay attention to the ones that start to grow and start to expand and start to get bigger and ask for more of your time and attention, because those are the ones that need you right now. And the ones that sort of fizzle or don't go anywhere, you don't have to necessarily make a decision that it is or isn't for you. You can just say, all right, not now. And then I trust that if this is something that is for me, Spirit will bring it back around into my awareness and I can act then. There's always another way to go about this, and that's to say to Spirit, hey, can we just put pause on things for right now, because I got a lot on my plate and I really want to examine and explore these things, and when I'm ready to resume new opportunities and new insight, I'll let you know. Thank you for the question, Kevin. I hope this helps.